Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Zach. He is with Advertising Expressions here in Morristown. Welcome, Zach. Thank you for being on here with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It was just kind of out of the blue in my mind. So Terry contacted us on Facebook, and I was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do.
Why not?
Yeah, and then I was like, well, what does that mean? And so she sent me some videos, and so I watched a couple of them. So I was like, well, that looks like a good time. So let's go.
We're loads of fun.
Yeah. So.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Advertising Expressions. What do you do? What do you make?
Okay. Well, Advertising Expressions started in 2007. My mom, Brenda Milliken, started the business in a spare bedroom upstairs, and was screen printing T-shirts. And my dad said it's time to find an office because he got tired of it being a T-shirt warehouse in his living room and bedroom and everywhere else along the way. So she started in 2007. In 2016, I moved. I had been moving around. I came back to Tennessee and kind of starting as an apprenticeship kind of deal. And so then in 2022, I just kind of learned the ropes and everything. And then in 2022, I took over ownership.
Okay.
And so Mom is on her way out into retirement, looking to replace her, which will be impossible, but it'll be good for her and being able to hang out with the grandkids or whatever she does. And so anyway, and I doubt she'll go too far.
Okay.
She'll be like, hey, do you have any work for me? I'm bored at the house. So
yeah. Anytime they have worked all their life and then they try to retire, it's hard.
Exactly. So but what we do, so that's a little kind of the history in a nutshell, but what we do is, our job, our business is to promote your business, is what we like to say. And we do that by trying to get your name in front of as many as possible, as often as possible, for as long as possible. So take a calendar, for example. You get 500 calendars made, so that's 500 households or people that get to see it. So you take that, and then as often as possible, they look at their calendar every day or once a month or whatever it is. And then for as long as possible, that one calendar lasts a year or 13 months sometimes. So
right.
So that gets your name in front of those people as much as possible. So anyway, so that's kind of the gist of it. We do screen printing, embroidery, and all other kinds of promotional products like the pins or notepads, something like this, or sticky notes, whatever. I have a whole bag full of stuff we can talk about, but screen printing is our screen printing T-shirts is probably our bread and butter. Lots of big, and we've just been able to grow mainly from word of mouth referrals. And so we've grown a lot that way. When I first moved here, I did some cold calling, earned some good clients that way, and then in turn, as I've done a good job for them, they've passed my name and earned several other great things. So.
And that's the least expensive advertising you can do.
Oh yeah,
when people refer you to.
That's
people.
right. Yeah, and it's the best, because if I trust you and you say, well, I know a guy who can print those T-shirts for you. Well, I'm going to trust you that you know that guy enough to refer him to me. So that's the idea, and we love word of mouth. Mom did some cold calling back in her early days, but she didn't like it, but it's just grown and exploded. The year I took over ownership, we more than doubled our sales. And so that was, and then we matched that and grew a little bit the next year. So
awesome.
So we're doing really good, and the Lord's really blessed the business in every way possible. So
I can relate to your mom. I don't
yeah.
like cold calling either.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing they tell realtors is you need to be cold calling. You need to call 30 people a day. Da 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 da. Like, I'm not calling people. I hate it when people call me.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, hey, you want to sell your
telemarketers.
house?
Yeah. I mean, people call me as telemarketers, and I'm like hanging up on them. So
Yeah, right.
I just don't feel like here that's an effective way to get business.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate to your mom on that. But you do need people like yourself who can feel comfortable going out and doing those things.
Right.
So
Right.
all right.
So-
So what did you bring to show us?
Well, the first thing and probably the biggest thing is we are at least since September or October, we've been the newest supplier of the North Face.
Okay.
So not anything, but there's a few limitations, but we offer a lot of North Face items from and all kinds of shirts and things. We also offer other name brands such as Nike, OGO, Brooks Brothers, Adidas, Eddie Bauer. I mean, like, we've got a good selection, and then we also have the well-known but lesser priced but good quality, items as well. Port Authority, Gildan, Jerseys brand, things like that. And
Okay.
so, and even lesser known ones than that, but you get the point. So.
Right. You've got something for all price ranges.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
You're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. So, So then, so this is an example. We're also one of the few companies that that can do full color screen printing. So this is a full color process. So a lot of people would have to order like a heat transfer to do this, but we actually screen printed this. And so, as opposed to a spot color print, which I don't have a good example of that, but this is embroidery here. But if this was a spot color logo, and screen printing it, we would be printing the white, and we would get it to dry, and then we would print the red. Full color process works like a inkjet printer. It uses CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black to make all the colors.
Gotcha.
And so that is that process.
Okay. That's
And
good.
yeah, so bring us a picture of the Smoky Mountains and we might be able to put it on something for you. We can do things like stadium cups, printed on both sides. We've got full color coffee mug.
Okay.
We'll just fill the table. And then even koozies. Koozies work good for a lot of people. This is a really good one. I'm a koozie guy, and so I like how it feels. It's thicker. It's the material that it's made out of is keeps it colder longer and keeps the cold off of your hands. That's what I like about it.
Gotcha.
And then leather patches are a big deal for our kind of an up and coming, they've been around for a while, but putting them on hats a lot of times.
Yeah.
You'll see those
Oh, yeah.
on hats, so we can do those. And then this was a brilliant idea. This is just a bar coaster.
Yep.
And what the brilliant part of this is you buy some of these, you buy a lot of them, like 2,500 of them, and you take them to a place like Good Old Days, and they have to buy them anyway. So if you give them to them, then they're slinging your stuff for them. They're advertising for you. And as you can see here, we've got two people on either side.
So you can split the cost.
So you can flip,
You split the cost.
Split the cost, right. So if you two wanted to do it, then you could be on one side, you could be on the other side. And so, I kind of got into that and thought, man, that's pretty great idea.
That is a good idea. I
And
like that.
then,
I know that I take pins because, we buy pins by the thousands.
yeah,
And sometimes I have bought like calendars that came with a complimentary pin to match the scenery.
oh, right, yeah.
And I'll take them to places like Applebee's or O'Charlie's because those servers are always running out of pins
Yeah,
because people steal their pins.
right.
So I take my pins to them. I'm like, anytime you need a pin, you call me. Here
Yeah,
you go.
that's right.
And I
yeah.
take my pins and they're handing them out to people. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So
And
same
even
concept.
whether they keep them or they give them back, they've seen your name on
Exactly.
that pin already.
That's right.
So, and I
Yep.
check pins when I go out to eat. So I'm like, oh, who's this? Maybe I need to call them. We can do chapstick. This is a keychain. It's
Oh, yeah, that's
really nice
cute.
keychain. So it has a breakaway of some sort. Everything.
Oh, how cute.
So anyway.
That'd be
And
good
then-
for you. Give away as closing gift.
And then squishies, you know, like
Fine.
got all different kinds of shapes. Did an
Okay.
old rotary phone one time for some folks that was in a little stress ball thing. And then I think the last thing is another
I would need
full-
something a lot bigger than that.
yeah, another full color print.
Oh,
Here,
that's
The
cute.
colors look good.
this is one we just did for an ATA tournament. And speaking of which, this is spot color. This is the difference between spot color
Gotcha.
and full color. So we printed the blue and the orange on this, and to get this print here. So
That's good.
so
Okay.
anyway, that's kind of what I brought to show off, show and tell. But we have access to over 1 million items.
Oh, wow.
Now it seems like about 800,000 of them are pins. So, but that's still a good variety of other things that
Oh,
we can
definitely.
do, and have access to all kinds of stuff. So,
Do you do like most companies who provide these products? Do you have like a tiered pricing system that the more you buy, the bigger the discount?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so price breaks. We offer price breaks depending on the item, depending on my supplier, depending on how many colors it is, how many, whatever. I mean, there's lots of factors that go into
yeah.
it. But yeah, the more you buy, the better value you get.
Gotcha.
So more
Okay.
bang for your buck. Yeah.
all right, good deal.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I've surprised myself with like someone's come to me and like it's a barber, and he said, "Can you do the capes? That go." I was like, "I don't know. Let me look." And so, sure enough, we did it. And then same guy, he's like, "Can you do floor mats?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let's check." And sure enough, we can even print floor mats. And so. Yeah,
So some of that stuff you don't even know you can do until somebody says, "Hey, can you do this?"
Yeah,
You're
that's
like,
right.
"Well, I can try it. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens."
Yeah. A lot of it we print or is printed by the supplier. So when we order something like this, then we say, well, we pay a setup fee to them, and they set it up and print them, and it just comes out cheaper than having to have all the equipment.
Oh, I'm sure.
And and then put the labor into it, because I can order those blank, but then I have to put the time and the money and the ink and so pay them a little bit, pass that on, and,
I get it.
and go on from there. So
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of turn time do you normally have if somebody wanting to order, 500 t-shirts or something?
yeah, for the most part, we do we offer a 2-week turnaround, or
Okay.
we don't offer less than that. But that doesn't mean we can't get it done in less, especially if there's something in someone in crisis mode. We try to help when we can. As the saying goes, of procrastination on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part.
Exactly.
But we do try to accommodate the best we can,
Sure.
and help people out whenever we can with that. We've been involved with community things. For example, the ATA tournament, the Taekwondo tournament that I was talking about. I've gone every year with them as a vendor. For 7 out of the 8 years, I think, is what I've
okay.
done. And so, we go and we're able to just sell at their tournament, and so that's worked out really well. We've worked with Encore. We offer, like, hey, if you let us put our name on the back with the other sponsors or with the cast list or whatever, then we'll give you $1 off for shirts. We've done that with schools as well. We've had a huge breakthrough with schools this year, so that was really exciting for us. And
That's awesome.
so anyway, and our biggest and newest customer now is Moon Pie.
Really?
Yeah, so we're printing Moon Pie shirts nowadays. So we just
Cool.
finished our first order of those, so that's exciting too.
That is exciting.
Yeah. Word of mouth, by
Word
the
of
way.
mouth.
So,
Really? That's
yeah.
awesome.
It
One
expands.
of my cold calls started talking to his brother, and his brother now works for Moon Pie and is over the shirts, and he's like, just we're gonna let Zach do it. So okay.
And a lot of times, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, somebody in little old Morristown, Tennessee, can probably beat out, as far as price and stuff goes, some of these bigger names in larger cities like Knoxville,
Mhm.
Nashville, whatever, just because of overhead cost. You know what I'm saying?
Yes and no. I would say, like, certainly not like, custom ink or something like that. I don't know. They give away their stuff almost, and I certainly just can't compete with that. But sometimes compared to Knoxville, I think our whether depending on where the price ends up, tomato maybe, but I think our expertise comes in with customer service of just making sure it's what the customer wants before we print or
Okay.
before we order the items or whatever's coming, and then also our turnaround. Like I said, we offer a 2-week turnaround in most situations, and sometimes that's not the case, but we'll let you know up front that no, we can't do it then, but we can do it then. Oh, okay, good. And we work it out and we
Move forward.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have a website or a Facebook page or both?
We do have both. I don't know much about the Facebook page. I was telling Terry, my dad runs it and
Okay.
operates it, so but it is up there, and we'd love for you to follow us. And then we do have advertisingexpressions.com is our website, and so it's not an e-commerce website, meaning you can't buy off of it, but it's a good brainstorming opportunity to kind of pins, and you type in pins, and those 800,000 show up, and you can scroll through and decide what kind of pin you like or want to see, but.
So it kind of gives people an overview of what you have available, but they still need to come see you.
Right.
to order
Yeah.
the product.
Yeah. The email and the phone numbers are on the website, and so then you can contact us directly, and we'll get going, get the project going in whatever form or fashion. So.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us today?
No, I mean we
We
just.
didn't get his location, did we? Did we say where you're located?
Oh no. The address is 2103 Morningside Drive. And if you're from the area, it's straight across from the Crockett Tavern. And if you're really from the area for a long time, do you know what it used to be?
Yep, Ronnie's Restaurant.
Ronnie's
Yes.
Restaurant, yeah. So that's, if you've been here for a while, you know that part for sure. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, that's our building, and we're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with the exception of the lunch hour from 12 to 1. I like to eat, and so,
Don't
so
we
I'm
all?
like, I'm going to shut down. It can wait an hour,
I understand completely.
And so, yeah, and then, so again, email Zach at ZACH at advertisingexpressions.com. Phone number 423-586-3270. So you can get in touch with us in any way, in any of those ways. And again, advertisingexpressions.com will get you both of those in case you forgot or not writing it down at this moment.
All right.
So.
Good deal, Zach. Well, thank you for coming by again.
All
We
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And now we definitely know that we have a local resource to buy these
I've
things.
actually ordered some stuff. It's been a few
Yeah,
years, but we got some of those pins,
Uh-huh.
different kinds of pins.
And fidget spinners.
We did.
The
yes,
fidget spinner.
Remember the fidget
Oh,
spinners?
Yeah, when you were with finance.
Yes, a different mortgage company.
Yeah, that's right. And so, one of my first customers actually
Okay.
for a
Good
little while.
deal.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we'll let you pack up
Yeah.
your goodie bag here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be calling you about these keychains.
I like,
Yeah.
the
I like
keychains.
those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like those cups too. Those cups are good.
Yep.
All
So everybody
right.
likes the cup.
Everybody likes them.
Thank you
Anyways, have
again,
a good
Zach.
day.
We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Zach.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kim, I know that mortgages are probably not the topic you want to discuss right now.
No, we're still with rates, still upper sixes, at best. And there's two things I was going to point out. We did get added, I think last week. We can now do cash out refis on manufactured homes for 30 years. They used to be capped at 20 years,
Yep.
but now we can do 30 years.
I think we talked about that.
We did. And
Okay.
still 65% on the loan to value is what you
Hey.
are. But still, hey, if you got credit card debt and looking to, pay off some
But
of
what
that
you can
and-
sell manufactured homes for today versus even 5 years
Oh,
ago,
definitely.
65% is
Yeah,
pretty good.
It's good. Yep.
So,
And then the other option that we've got is if you're self-employed, there's some options. Used to it was just a hard rule that you had to be self-employed for 2 years. So we've got some options now that if you've been self-employed for at least a year and have a full year tax return, and if your previous employment was in the same line of work, sometimes we can use 1 year
okay.
self-employment instead of 2 years. So some few things are loosening up, thank goodness. So
I understand. Yeah, I just knew that I had seen, where it seemed like mortgage rates were trying to go back up a little bit. So I don't know. Do you think that was because of NAR announcing the settlement on Friday, or was it because of economic data that got
I
released?
think it's still the economic data.
Okay.
That they're still saying everything's great, and so I don't know. So that's what I've been told anyway. So.
Yeah. All we know is what we're told, right?
Exactly.
All right, so I wanted to share with you the stats for here in Hamlin County, and these are going to be since the beginning of March this year. In Hamlin County, we had 31 new listings that have come on. 37 homes have went under contract, so that's pretty strong. And we've had 32 homes that have already sold. Average sales price is $292 with 57 days on the market. The median is really close, $290,000 at 27 and a half days on the market. We had 24 price changes, average price change of $45,700. Those have been on the market for an average of 102 days. The median price change was $15,500 with 65 days on the market. So, a lot of people want to test the waters on the price of their home. And they may be looking at what their neighbor's home sold for back in 2021. And my house is better than that house. But we're in a different market now, especially with rates being, almost double what they were in 2021. So overpricing your home is the surest way to not sell your home in that average time span of 57 days. Okay. But I had somebody who had asked me, one of the questions I get asked all the time when I go on a listing appointment, how long is it going to take to sell my house? How long is it going to take? And I just pull out my crystal ball. No, what I do is share with people information because that's all I can do to help them decide how long it's going to take. But in all of 2023, the average here in Hamlin County for time on the market was 50 days. The median was 18. So far in 2024 in Hamlin County, the average is 65 days and the median's 21. But what you will find out is if we look at homes that are priced at $300,000 and below, your average time on the market is going to be 38 days and the median is going to be 12. Okay. If you go between 300 and 500, the average is 68 days and 36 days median. If we go up above 500,000, the average time on the market is 334 days and the median time is 356. So pretty much if you're $500,000 and below, you're looking at about 2 months on the market. Okay. If you are going to be above that $500,000 mark here in Hamlin County, you are looking at an extended period of time on the market. So what that would translate to for me talking to a seller who, maybe they want to list their house at $525. Is it really worth sitting on the market for those additional months versus pricing your home at $500,000? How much is it going to cost you to keep that house for 7 more months rather than, just list it at $500? Maybe if we're below market value on the house, we get a bidding war and we end up selling at $525 anyway. So there we go. That's kind of what's going on in real estate right now. It is definitely the spring market. We're seeing a lot more homes come on the market every day, and those homes are typically going under contract fairly quickly, especially if they're priced right. So, what do you think is going to happen with rates?
Well, I'm just seeing a
You're
lot
gonna
more.
pull out your crystal ball now.
Well, my crystal ball's dirty today, so I've got a lot more activity with applications.
That's good.
So I think people are, and I think some people are just resolved to that. Hey, these are what rates are. That's what they've been. That's what they're going to be. Let's go ahead and purchase and refi later. Because rates have always, if you look at the history of mortgage rates, there's the up and the down cycle. So obviously we're more on the upper side, not still as high as we have been in years past, but I think a lot of people are, saying, hey, let's go ahead and purchase, and then we can always do the refi later.
And I think it was you I shared this Instagram reel with, wasn't it?
Yes.
Where the guy was on, like your 6 o'clock news, and he's talking about rates went up to historic high today, and it was like 17% that he shared. And, when we look back over history, we can't really complain about rates in the sixes. No. Now, I know we got spoiled. I know we got spoiled because for a long, long time, and I know that the pitch was, you better hurry up and take advantage of these rates. They're not going to stay low forever. Well, guess what? They didn't. They finally went back up. So, I tell people all the time, I don't think they're ever going to get back down to 3.5 and 4. Not in our lifetime. Okay. But I think looking at 5 to 6 could happen.
Right.
But if you're waiting on rates to drop, you and everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So like thinking that, I'll sell my house when the rates drop so that I'm getting a better deal on the house I buy. Everybody's going to be doing that. And you're going to have a ton more buyers that you're competing with when those interest rates come in that low. So if you thought about selling and you're worried about the interest rate, we can talk about ways to help you get a lower interest rate now, whether it be through a seller buy down, getting an adjustable rate, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't put it off, but that's just me.
Well, especially if you're paying rent. You think about, each month that you continue to pay rent, I mean, that's just money that's thrown away. Whereas at least if you purchase that home, even at the higher rates, money's going towards the principal, plus you're building that equity. So,
Very
something
true
to think about too. So.
Very true. All right. If you have a local business that you would like to have featured on our Facebook Live, please send us a DM or leave a comment below. We'll reach out to you and get you on our schedule. We need some more businesses here in Hamlin County, so make sure you reach out and let us know. We'd love to have you on the show. Again, I'm Amy Schrader with RE/MAX Real Estate 10.
I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.